Hey Internet, it's me. Now, as you can see, I'm in my little cramped hall of retro games. And also, I'm not sure how much you can see, but I'm still a fat guy during a heat wave, so sorry in advance for the sweatiness. But I am going to talk about a video game. I know, crazy, but I do it eventually. And this time, I want to talk about a game called Black Jewel Reborn. It is a new game being created for the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, the NES, and the Game Boy. And if future me edited this correctly, then there are screenshots of each of those versions on the screen. I don't know why I'm pointing like I know where I'm going to put them. But basically, it's your standard, platform hack and slash type game. Similar to like a Golden Axe, but without the depth of field and movement. And honestly, it looks really good. There should be footage on the screen of me playing through the demo, and it is me playing, so never mind the fact that I'm doing horribly. As you play through, it's like any other standard game of this type, where you attack the various enemies as they come at you, and try not to let them hit you in the process. I succeeded to varying degrees while playing. There are two different characters. One has a sword, one has a whip. I was excited by this. I thought the whip would give you more range, but judging by the hitboxes and just what I had to work with, it doesn't really give you any more range than I think a sword would. I think that's more of just an aesthetic choice, so now you know going forward. But the graphics here are really well done. Like, they look really good. The ROM I played, the one that's available currently, is the demo for the Genesis. So, obviously, the NES and Game Boy are going to have reduced graphics. I would expect the Super Nintendo to be roughly the same. But yeah, the graphics looked really good. I liked all the sprites. I liked the color. Everything felt very well done. Like, this feels like a professional game. Sometimes you see some of the indie or homebrew titles, and they just look or feel a little more amateurish. All the colors and the shapes are very basic. There's not a lot of layering going on. There's no backgrounds to some of the levels. But this is all very well done. Everything is very beautifully rendered, and I really like the look of the game. So right off the bat, I do want to mention that. Also, they just recently released the loading screen for the NES, which, again, should be on the screen somewhere. And that is absolutely gorgeous. That is a kick-ass load screen. I love, the blinking, glowing eyes and everything. That just... They're doing a really good job visually with this game. Also, I should mention the sounds. The music here is pretty cool, and unfortunately I played a lot of this with the sound kind of turned down. I don't know why, the system volume on my computer doesn't always cooperate with OBS properly, and my hardware all gives me enough issues as it is. I don't want to throw volume imbalance into the mix. But the music's pretty good, especially in the cutscene, and then the boss fight was really, really good. So if I have decent footage, I will play some of that now. Okay, I don't know if that came through or not. If not, there's probably just a weird jump cut right there. Or like a video of my dog's laying on the floor licking herself or whatever. But if it did come through, then it sounds pretty cool, right? Yes, it does. That was rhetorical. I already know the answer. So yeah, I like the sound in this. I liked the graphics. And I did mention a cutscene, and I want to mention again, this game has cutscenes, and really cool ones at that. I really enjoy that they put the extra effort in to put the cutscene in. A lot of games from the 8 and 16-bit era, a few RPGs notwithstanding, they didn't really have a story mode. They didn't have a lot of cutscenes. They didn't have a lot of build-up. Half the time, if you wanted lore for the game, you had to read it in the instruction manual. Because once you started playing the game, especially things like platformers or hack and slash or beat-em-up style things, it was just, hey, keep moving to the right until you get to the end, and then good job, you're done. So the fact that this has those cutscenes and just a little bit of that extra story element is really, really cool. I really enjoy that they're putting the extra effort into it, and it's definitely one of the extra aspects that drew me to this game. But now, I should point out that I did mention that, I was drawn to the game, and then I played a demo on Genesis because that's all available. Basically, this is a Kickstarter game. So I played the unfinished game. I'll show you now the footage, the end of my run. So as you can see, I died, which should be expected. I'm a filthy casual and honestly terrible at video games. But that was the last boss in the demo, which also happens to be, I believe, the final boss of the first level. Earlier on, you get a mini-boss, which is like a living tree with a flock of crows. Footage of that should be next to me somewhere on the screen. I don't know which side I'll put it on. But the final boss is this big dragon thing. And as you can see, or did see, I had all of the trouble dodging those fireballs. But what you're supposed to do is walk so that they either go over you or land right before you. And it should be a fairly big safe zone. I don't know why I could not time that properly. But you do that, and then when he flies in and does the ground pound, you want to jump over his little shockwave and then smack him with your weapon. Again, I am incapable of doing that because I'm not great at games, but I've seen it done by someone else who was talking about this game. It's not the hardest thing, I'm just bad. But that's the end of the demo. The game is going to be bigger, there's going to be a lot more. But I just wanted to talk about the game now because, like I said, it is on Kickstarter. And it's actually not fully funded yet, but it still has 3 weeks to go. It'll get there. But I just wanted to put it out that this seems to be a really good, worthwhile game. You know, I love the effort that they're putting into it already, just from the different, screenshots they have from the various consoles, or the new intro screen for the NES. It looks like they're putting care not just into creating the initial game on the Genesis and Super Nintendo, but also the effort into the demakes and making them still look and feel as cool as the 16-bit versions. And overall, this seems like a labor of love. It seems like there's a lot of care going into this, and the games are being very well designed and well made, and I figured that's the type of thing that deserves a little bit of support. So, for the audience of none that I have, if you're interested in this style of games, and you should be because it's a good game, go check it out on Kickstarter. There's a link down there somewhere, or maybe up there. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you're watching this in the future and YouTube has redesigned the site again and the comments are above, even though that's never been the case. But anyway, the point is, the link is somewhere, or you can just search on Kickstarter for Black Jewel Reborn. Either way, it looks really cool. Definitely check it out. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about the game, really. I mean, not to diminish it, but it is fairly basic just as far as gameplay loops go, because it is, an early 2D platform hack and slash type game. You can only do so much. You scroll to the right, you beat up enemies as you see them. This game does also have, at least so far on the first level, I saw a section of where instead of scrolling to the right, you're moving up, which is kind of cool. I like when they change it up and give you that variety. But basically, it's your standard platform hack and slash. If you like those, you'll like this one because it appears to be a really well-made one. And if you don't like those, support this anyway because it's really cool to see indie developers creating new stuff for old consoles. So yeah, that's my spiel. This isn't sponsored or anything. I actually went and backed this, and I'm going to spend a bunch of my own money to get all 4 versions of the game. So whether you back it or not, I've already given them my money. This is not like a paid promotion. I just wanted to say that, hey, I really enjoy their thing. You guys might too, so go check it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I already had to do multiple takes because my dog was whining, so I'm going to go walk her a bunch. And I don't know why I'm mentioning her in every video, but she's a lot. Anyway, bye.